Hey everybody, welcome back to our music theory, our weekly music theory lessons. I'm of course your host Cameron Delo, and today we're going to talk about the pentatonic scale, and particularly the minor pentatonic. We'll discuss the major and its merits, but we're going to talk about how it's all derived from the same thing. And the emphasis on this is, why does so many guitarists and so many musicians alike gravitate toward this scale? And the reasons will be covered in a variety of contexts in a theoretical standpoint. And it just seems to be what guitarists in particular want to use. And why? Why does it work? That's what we're going to cover today. So let's get started. So let's talk about what is the minor pentatonic scale. Okay? So as I have it written down here, we have an A minor pentatonic. A, C, D, E, G. Okay. So there's two ways we're going to talk about this, and they're both derived from the major scale. Either way it's derived from the major scale. So first we're going to talk about having it derived from a relative minor of a major scale. Okay. So a relative minor is the sixth note of a major scale. You would start on the sixth note of the major scale and play, in this instance, if we look at C major and we started on an A and we played to another A, that would be an A natural minor scale, as this demonstrates right there. Well, the C major scale, if you start on C, is of course the major C. Start on A, it is the natural minor, the A natural minor in this case. So that would be its relative minor. A would be the relative minor of C. Now, this is important when talking about pentatonic scales, simply because a minor pentatonic is essentially a natural minor, but you've eliminated both the second note and the sixth note. You've eliminated both of them. And sometimes people refer to this as a gapped scale. The reason being, if we play like a natural minor, like an A natural minor, okay? Well, if we eliminated the second notes, eliminated the sixth, so now we go. We literally would have a minor pentatonic scale. So you're literally eliminating two of the notes, creating a gap in the sound. Okay? So you could think of it as derived from the relative minor of a particular major scale. In this case, we'd look at C major with the relative minor being A. You just eliminate both the second and sixth notes of the natural minor scale to make the minor pentatonic. You could also look at it from the standpoint of, okay, so this is A minor pentatonic. Look at it as an A major scale. And the A major scale then would be, if you look at the notes here, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. What you would do in this case to make it fit here, of course you would do the same thing. You make it gaps. You'd eliminate the second notes and the sixth notes, but you would also flat the third and flat the seventh. Flat the third, flat the seventh. So then your notes would be A, C, D, E, G. A, C, D, E, G. Okay? So if you think of it in terms of A minor pentatonic, think of it in terms of A major scale. You eliminate the second and sixth note, flat the third, and flat the seventh. Okay? And again, so there's two ways of thinking of this. Thinking of it derived from the relative minor of a particular major scale, and then creating those gaps, or thinking of it literally as, so this is A minor, well, let's think of it as A major. Flat the third, flat the seventh, and create those gaps by eliminating the second and the sixth notes. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about the major pentatonic right now. We could, and we probably will in a future lesson, absolutely. It's just that it's all derived, it's all derivative, meaning, so in order to play a, so I should say, if we look at A minor pentatonic, to make it a major pentatonic, you'd start on the second note, which is the C. Again, that would be the relative major of A minor. So you would start on the second note and play a C to a C. C, D, E, G, A, C. Okay? That would be a C major pentatonic. This, because it starts on A, again, relative minor, it's an A minor pentatonic. Okay? So you see it's all derived from, the major scale in general. So again, let me cover. In my thought process, we have an A minor pentatonic scale. So let's think in terms of relative minor or relative major. So you could kind of cheat, as I just said, look at your second notes. Oh, there's your relative major. Okay, so now, so our relative major, so that would make this an A natural minor scale. Okay, to make it a pentatonic, kind of create the gaps, eliminate B, F, second and sixth, and voila, you have an A minor pentatonic. Okay? Coincidentally, if you eliminated those two notes and you started on C, you would have C major pentatonic. Okay? And like I said, you can also think of it in terms of, here's A minor, you can think of it in terms of A major scale, and all you would do is flat the third, flat the seventh, and create those gaps by eliminating the second and the sixth note of the scale. Okay, so now we're going to look at some common chord progressions that would work well with the minor pentatonic scale. And we're keeping it within the context of C major scale, as well as A minor pentatonic in these examples. Okay, so first example, and I should say, I'm going to be referencing this over and over again. This is the A minor pentatonic. As you've already seen, A, C, D, E, G. And we will first be looking at a 1, 4, 5 in a major chord progression. Okay, we also have a minor version of a 1, 4, 5 in this. Right now we're starting with major. We're going to have a C, F, and G chord. Okay, all major. So that's, of course, the 1, 4, 5 of C. If you look, I have each one of these spelled out, each one of the chords spelled out with the first, third, and fifth note of each chord. So C, C, E, G, F, F, A, C, G, G, B, D. Okay? Well, the first thing I'll say is, if you look at the notes on here versus the A minor pentatonic, the A minor pentatonic is covering the majority of those notes within the chord. It's covering all those sweet notes, the best notes to grab when you're playing those chords. So if you look at it, it's like the majority of each chord is part of the scale. Voila, that tells you right away those notes are going to work. I mean, pretty simple. There is, of course, the sixth of the A natural minor scale, excuse me, as well as the second of the A natural minor scale. So the sixth, F, and the second, B. But that's okay, because it's all within the same key. Okay? One thing I wanted to point out that's very important, because like I said, you have all the sweet notes, the most important notes covered. You also are covering on every one of these, the fifth of the chord belongs to that scale. Okay? And the majority of the root is part of that scale too. If you just eliminate the F, then yeah, it works. But like I said, the majority of those notes work with each one of these chords. I shouldn't say the majority. I should say all of them work with each one of these chords. Okay? So all the fifths are part of this. Majority of roots are a part of this as well. Now, let's look at the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. 1, 6, 4, 5 right here. In this case, it's C, A minor, F, and G. C is, of course, again, first, third, fifth. C, E, G. A minor, A, C, E, because you have first, flat 3, and 5. And F, first, third, fifth, F, A, C. And the G, which is the fifth, is first, third, fifth, G, B, D. Again, the same two notes that can be eliminated, B and F. And, a natural minor scale would obviously work because all these notes work within the A minor pentatonic. But if you look at this, every one of the fifths, again, works. And again, the majority of the root works as well. So those are two of the strongest notes, or they are the strongest notes, I should say, of the major scale or the minor scale. And here they are, ever present within this chord progression, as well as the A minor pentatonic. And let's move to the next one. The 2-5-1 progression, which we talked a little bit about in our Autumn Leaves example. But 2-5-1. In this case, I added sevens to the chords. So you have a first, flat 3, fifth, and 7 for your minor 7. And then in this case, the 2 is D minor 7. You have D, F, A, C, C being the 7. Your 5 chord is a G7, spelled first, third, fifth, 7. Your notes are G, B, D, F. Okay? Now, your next one, your 1 chord is a major 7. This is first, third, fifth, and major 7. I should put oh, I don't need to. That looks all right. So you have C, E, G, and B. Don't second guess yourself. That's part of the lesson. I was second guessing myself. So that being said, again, all of these notes work within the scale. You have, again, your fifths, bam, G, D, A, G, D, A. Your roots, well, in this case, D, G, C. All of your roots work as well. So you have the two strongest notes of the scale right there, ever present, as I said. And as well as your sevens. Your sevens, of course, they're going to be kind of the odd one out in this case because they're containing the notes that are in that natural minor scale, the F and B. But you also have a C in there, which of course works in your minor pentatonic. Now we're at our final one, our final example, our 1-4-5 in minor. Now, this is A minor, D minor, and E minor, okay? So, of course, minor is flat the third, so first flat 3, 5, A, C, E. D minor, first flat 3, 5, D, F, A. E minor, first flat 3, 5, E, G, B. Okay? Well, again, you have those two notes that belong in that natural minor scale, but the majority, again, like look at this. All of the roots, all of your one of your strongest notes are part of this. Okay? And in this case, that's kind of the one that, in this case, the only one that's, the root is the only one that has a consistency through each one of these chords, meaning, all of these are within that scale. Anyways, before I ramble on too much, so essentially, this shows you from a theoretical standpoint, there's a lot of people going to tell me, well, or comment and say, hey, well, it sounds good, or it sounds bad. Of course, it's all about what sounds right and what sounds bad. I mean, if it sounds bad, it's bad. If it sounds good, it's good. This kind of gives us a nice understanding of why this works and why the scale is so prominently featured with, all kinds of musicians, and particularly guitar players, with blues, rock, pop, country, jazz, funk. We all use it as guitar players as well as different as instrumentalists. But as you can see, I'm speaking for the guitar point of view. So it's simply because this is your meat and potato scale. It contains all those sweet notes. And on that note, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.